I'm exhausted because of a lot of reasons, many reasons. But I think that today, more than ever, I'm exhausted because of the presence of evil. The presence of evil is a tremendous source of exhaustion. I don't understand the evil that surrounds me. I don't understand how human beings can be so heartless and so evil. And more than everything, I don't understand how in the presence of amazing occurrences, amazing revelations that are completely positivistic in nature, meaning they have hard proof. There is nothing psychological or metaphysical about it. You have hard proof of revelations in front of your eyes, and the Israelis continue like nothing happened. The Israelis continue with the same disgusting psychological terror and voodoo and all this arcane Soviet knowledge of how to make a person lose his mind. Like nothing happens. I don't, excuse me, I don't get it. How is it even possible? How can you be so evil? How can you be so evil? How can you be so evil? And yet, I do want to speak, just for the record, about my own revelation or my own understanding that was sharpened a little bit today. Now, this is purely for the record. I think that by now there are two kinds of people: those who don't care at all, like the Israelis, and those who care and follow my research, and with all probability they understand, everything. They are already understood everything that I'm going to say now, and they probably did it, long before I did, and they probably have much more to say about it, because I currently am going to speak about things that I have almost no knowledge, no background. I'm not a scientist, and I know nothing about biology, and I'm sure that anyone that follows me by now, they got the right people, the right personnel to give an expert opinion. But I'm certain that what I'm going to say now is true. I don't have everything that I'm certain that other people, experts that have seen the same material, they came to more conclusion, but this does not disqualify my own conclusions. So, first of all, we've seen together many dozens, or probably hundreds of paintings that were paintings on microscopic slides, paintings that were done over the course of several days, and we don't know of any creature or any entity in this world, be that natural or mechanical in nature, that can paint those paintings. With all probability, it's almost impossible not to believe that the painters are the entities that I called Neros, the ring-like entities that are abundant in my body. We know a little bit about those Neros because we've studied them. I've studied them, and you have seen the results during the last week or so, we know that they come in a large variety of sizes. And I've speculated that they start their life and many of them stay at the nanoscale, meaning below the below the size that I can see even using a microscope with 1500 magnification. Only electron microscope can see them at their minimal state. That this was my assumption, and but we can see the larger ones, and they come in a variety of sizes. We know that they tend to manipulate their environment. We've seen it already by manipulating the bodies of the carcasses of large creatures that were put on the slides. So, I mean, it's almost inevitable, to conclude that they are the painters of these paintings. I have already said several times during the last couple of days, but also months ago, even before I've seen those neurons in my own eyes, I've told you that my nanobots can communicate with each other, and they do that all the time. And I don't know if anyone believed me. I have no idea. Maybe you thought that I'm crazy. But I mean, this theory is very problematic because it defies the laws of physics. Because these are microscopic and even nanoscopic creatures. How can they communicate with each other? There is no theoretical knowledge in the hands of humanity at that point that can even start to explain the ability of such small creatures to communicate with each other. To communicate, not, when I say to communicate, I'm not referring to, the ability to maybe to pass like basic trivial, I don't know, gestures like move away or something like that. This could have been explainable somehow, but even that is, I don't know if it's something that biologists are used to research, in such small animals. But I'm speaking about what I was referring to and still think is communication that allows cooperation in large scale. And this is something that is beyond, if it's true, and it was not demonstrated to be true, is completely beyond the understanding of humanity, of the basic physical tenets of our world. Now, there were many paintings, and there are far more that I haven't photographed, and I will do it later. But it was obvious that at least some of these paintings, and I'm sure that you will all agree with me, at least some of them are equivalent in a way. And this is, I know it's a metaphor, but it's a strong metaphor, I think, that they are equivalent to what we call cave paintings of prehistoric men, in a way that they signify creatures that were hunted by those Neros or by their friends or by their counterparts, by their party. The same way that prehistoric men hunted wild bear and mammoths and saber-tooth, I don't remember, leopard or whatever, and then they painted it on the walls of their caves. Those Neros hunted monsters of many sorts, and then they, in some way, remembered how they looked to them, and then they painted it on the slides. Now, they painted it in huge scale. The paintings are much larger than the monsters that were portrayed. We can easily identify some of those so-called monsters. I have very little, almost no background in biology, but it was clear to me that some of those paintings are paintings of known microbes like ciliates or other microbes that we humans know a lot about it, and it's immediately clear that these are painting of microbes, but in very large scale. There are other paintings that, for me, it was more difficult to understand what they signify because I have less background in biology, but I'm sure that for people with more background, it was much easier to come to the same conclusions, that some of the paintings clearly portray viruses, and they even repeat themselves in small variations again and again. So it's obvious that there are many paintings of the same creature or of same creature of the same type, and the type is that these are viruses. I suspect with high probability that some of the viruses that are painted are actually belong to the corona family, the coronavirus family. This breaks our knowledge of the physical reality in so many ways that I don't know even where to start. Viruses are tiny. They are much, much, much smaller than microbes like ciliates, for example. The painting of the viruses was done in tremendous scale. If it was done by large Neros, how is it even possible that they've ever seen those viruses? They don't have microscopes, electron microscopes at their disposal. They are microbes themselves. And if they were seen by nanoscopic Neros, how exactly is it possible that so many of them cooperated together to portray this monster in such a large scale, and they did it again and again? This cooperation is a direct proof of the theory of communication between all the Neros. And this is something that is way beyond the scientific capabilities of explanation of the reality of the world we live in. I'm really exhausted. Why is there so much evil in this world? Why?